Super Thursday! Woo! And, last week while we were in Massachusetts doing some clown shoes, we decided to stick around and try some Cambridge.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing this week. It's Cambridge. East Coast.
Cambridge Brewing Company.
Yep.
The first time we've ever done Cambridge.
Well, technically, we sort of did Cambridge in our very, very first show, which was the collaboration that Cambridge Brewdog and Stone did called Juxtaposition.
Our very first show.
That was pre-Matthew.
Yeah, it was before me, so it didn't matter.
That was when we had our other metrosexual on the show.
Well done.
Yeah, well,
Our other metrosexual.
We're very diverse here at Super Thursday.
that should be my profile on Twitter. Matt Becker, the other metrosexual.
As though there are only two of you in the entire world.
Exactly. Anyway.
The only two that matter.
So yes, we're going to start off this week with Sergeant Pepper.
Sergeant Pepper, yes.
Which is a Saison, which actually now that makes sense. For some reason, beforehand, I thought this was a stout because I think it's more like you see something and you're like, oh, that's a stout, and it just kind of implants in your brain, even though you have no basis for that.
I've done that before. I look at a label and I'm like, oh, that must be a brown ale. And you're like, no, it's an IPA.
But a Saison called Sergeant Pepper is actually very ingenious.
Yeah,
it makes sense, because Saisons tend to be peppery.
I believe this has peppers in it with peppercorns. Yes, indeed.
It smells good.
Cheers to this.
Cheers.
Cheers. But we're also doing the Audacity of Hops.
Wow, Pepper. Woo! Cambridge has been around for a long time, like the 80s. I mean, they're one of like the really like old school like craft brew pubs. I mean,
yeah. And they're a brew pub, not a brewery, right?
They are a brew pub, but just recently they actually started putting out bottles, which is really exciting because I mean they're like legends in the craft beer industry. I mean, you have all the old school guys, and Cambridge is going to come out of their mouths at one point or another. But the fact that they're actually bottling and getting their distribution out to the entire country is really, really cool.
This is good. I mean,
this almost has like a chili pepper feel to it.
Yeah, it's got a nice.
It's got a little sting.
It's like a spicy little bouncy, dancey thing.
They're using 4 peppercorns, so
that fits the label design.
Yeah, it says they're using 4 peppercorns, so I'm gonna assume black, white, green, and pink, because I think that's.
Are you sure they're not just using 4 actual peppercorns?
That's how strong they are.
No,
they actually, are super peppercorns.
Yeah, from what I can tell from this, I'm pretty sure
they had to put hazmat suits on, and then like those little.
They're like glowing.
Grippers.
They're like dropping them in with tongs. Yeah. Well, they might be using Szechuan. I don't know.
OSHA was on site while they brewed it just to make sure everything went right.
Exactly. This has got some pepper kick.
Yeah. No, it's really, really interesting. I think this would. I'm feeling like this is the double Saison kind of thing. Like you think of it a double IPA with the bigger hop bill, like this has the bigger pepper bill to it. And
this reminds me vaguely of my habanero Saison. If I might bring that up again.
If I might bring the attention back to my Saison.
The difference is with this one, mine was the habanero hits you more in the back of your throat, where this hits you like on the sides of your tongue.
Yeah, I'm getting
palate.
Size in the middle. Exactly, that's right where I'm getting.
Well, and it almost seems like it creeps up after, like it comes up from the middle and the sides, but it comes up after you're done drinking.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like this little like, oh hey, see you guys later. I'll start partying in a minute.
In a very nice way. It's a
very interesting.
It doesn't attack your mouth and like you're like.
To me, like with all the different flavors. All the different flavors of craft beer that we've seen, and I mean, like between the three of us, we've drank thousands of beers.
Yeah,
literally.
Seriously.
But I think the new thing that I'm really getting into, the new thing that I'm really enjoying, is how they play with the balance of flavors.
Oh, for sure.
Like not so much just like, oh, this has a really nice citrus flavor, or this has a really nice like grapefruit, or this, whatever. It's like when I can get a beer that has like this happening, and then this happening, and then this happening, and then all 3 of them kind of in the end blending together to like form this like symphony.
Well, that's ultimately what we're
really cool
doing on the show is focusing on beers that do that. Like,
well, but it's funny because especially recently, like we've been doing that. We've been coming across beers like that, like way more, like the Coho-Ho.
Well, and that's why I think that's becoming a thing in the industry, not just my thing. I think it's a thing that's kind of becoming in the industry.
I don't think it's a thing that is coming up. I think it's always been there. I mean, this is a good example. How long have they brewed this beer, and now we're just getting to try it? It's been there for a while, and I think a lot of breweries are doing this.
Is this a long-standing brew of theirs, or is this something
I believe so, because I believe what they did, and if I'm wrong about this, Bill's gonna kick my ass. But these are beers that they've been doing for a long time, but then they just finally got them
Won
in
gold
bottles
in
and got them
2012.
into it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, World Beer Cup?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. But I believe these are beers that they've had for a long time.
Finish
They're
my
just now
thought.
getting
I don't
into
think it's a new
distribution.
trend by any means.
No,
I
maybe
think-
not a new
hold
trend.
on.
Maybe I'm noticing it more. Yeah.
Yeah, we're paying attention to it more. You
But
know?
I think before, to me, it was like rather than all of the flavors popping at different times, the flavors were kind of blended initially as I was drinking it, and maybe it's an enhancement of the palate.
That I think
That's
that
what
might
Bill
have
would
a,
say.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that might have a lot to do with it. Is like the more you develop your palate. I mean, you develop your palate for years. I mean, even Bill, I'm sure his palate is still.
Well, yeah, and I
developing,
think,
you know?
well, and maybe
So-
that's why it makes more sense that people like Lauren
Right.
and Bill and whatever can take a drink of a beer and be like, oh, here are the 5 ingredients in this beer.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before I'd be like, well, I get some vanilla off of it and I get some chocolate right away and some wood, I guess. And they're like, what else? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What it comes down to is the longer you're around something, the more developed you are with
Right.
that product. So
For sure.
Well,
But
let's
well, just before you cut away or go
Okay.
to that, the pepper on the nose on this is perfect.
It's
with the
great.
taste.
Yeah.
It's like a good aroma and perfect like taste to back up that aroma.
Yeah.
It's a little fruity. As far as the saison goes, it's not too dry. It's nice to drink.
Yeah.
I think the heat kind of fakes you out when
For the dryness?
to dry it out.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think if I had to find a complaint for this beer, I would say that I'd like it to be a little drier. But
Yeah.
it's not. It doesn't negatively impact the beer. I just
No,
think
it's
that would make it
definitely
a little
not.
bit better.
It's not it's not a malt bomb.
No.
I mean, but it's not like a Brett saison where
Yeah.
it's just like
Like crazy dry.
you know
Yeah.
you gotta take.
It's like I just
take
drank a
water.
beer and now my mouth has dust bunnies.
Yeah.
So-
Honestly, like for me, I think just a little bit more carbonation, I think would really kind of
It
put
would-
it
yeah,
over the top
it'd
because
bring-
that would
yeah.
actually dry it out a little bit.
Yeah.
It would make it a little bit, fluffier.
Two birds,
Just-
one stone kind
Yeah,
of thing.
because you know how I love
Scrub your- scrub your
fluffy
palate.
saison. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. But all in all, it's a fucking great beer.
All right. Now
Awesome.
you may.
And-
All right.
and?
Well, Bill just called. He's like, "Hey, why aren't we on the Master Pairings yet?" So
What's
he's
going
been
on with your
7
eye
minutes.
there?
I don't know. I'm just like, "Hey, I forgot that we're on camera, so I'm just like rubbing my eye and stuff. What else?"
You're like, I was gonna stand
We're gonna
here
go to
and-
Master Pairings.
Let's go to Master Pairings,
Whatever.
and I'll rub my eye some more.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, your host, Bill Sysak. Stephen Johnson with me again. Today we have, chicken wings. And I like to do pub food. Well, I was going to go into something else and I said,
I was
going
gonna say this long thing: chicken wings.
Yeah. Well, I really, I like to do foie gras and different things for pairings, but a lot of times people are having late night munchies or munchies on weekends.
2 in the morning, you
getting
do not
things.
want to be eating foie
Right.
gras.
But you know what? Some of our fans have a large selection of beer, and if they have different beers, why not have the right beer with the food
Correct.
so that it tastes yummy? And so this is Unibroue. They're Terrible.
Not terrible.
It's a 10.3% dark Belgian style ale with spices. So it's going to be kind of along the lines of a quadruple. Should have some winter fruits. And why am I having it with chicken wings? Well, one, even though they're spicy, they're still slightly sweet because they have a little barbecue sauce on them. You're going to get it, Steven. I have faith in you. Winter fruit,
yeah.
that classic Belgian style.
This
Unibroue's been really good.
Well, Unibroue is a brewery that is so highly underrated for what they're producing. They produce such amazing beer. They're very well distributed, and nobody ever talks about them because they just don't really fit into the American
Well,
craft beer scene.
the other aspect of it, they do fit in the American craft beer scene, but they've been bought out by a mega corporation, so a lot of people don't promote them.
Right.
But the brewer that was there for a very long time was Paul Arnaud, and he was a brewer at Chimay.
Right.
So he brought a lot of that styles into here, and that's why you get these classic, great Belgian styles that play really well. So great beer, very tasty.
Yes. Digging into these wings because they've been calling to me all day.
And good winter fruit, like I said, little sweetness, little tobacco, but definitely a lot of rich caramel, fig, plum, raisin, and
Which is going to go really well with these.
rich, decadent, nice spice.
Oh my God. Pretty much just cuts all the bitterness of the beer away. You're left with that winter fruit, that marmalade kind of aspect to it. Very caramel heavy, almost a little toffee note on it.
What I get is a lot of raisin. I get a lot of raisin and fig. I get that richness just kind of gets extrapolated because of the sweetness from the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible is really tasty from Unibroue, really does a good job. Great for food pairings.
Inexpensive, easy to find.
Does a lot with big, rich, dark meats, things like that. But also, as you can see, goes with barbecue, especially that Kansas City barbecue, kind of tomato-based style.
Right.
So really tasty, nice beer, good chicken wings. Thanks, Steven.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
And we're back.
Hey, that
With
was
the
Maddow.
claps.
With the claps.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good way to bring it back.
Well, no, that's don't clap, dude, because we have the clapper that we installed on the camera, so that's how we start it back up again.
What?
No, all right, it's a bad joke.
Oh, the
Anyway.
clapper.
So
That's the clap.
you should totally go to black.
Did you notice the clap on that commercial actually has it's like tonal.
yeah,
it's like
it's
clack, clank.
it's a very specific kind of.
The problem is you drop your pot and all your lights go out. You know, like you're in the kitchen
So
cooking
you've
and you
owned a
drop
clapper.
I have owned a clapper, yes, in my lifetime.
You're like, that's so freaking cool, man.
Normally when I drop my
I
claps,
did
goes
purchase a clapper at 2 a.m. once watching TV.
All right.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. The Audacity of Hops is the beer that we're doing now.
Also from Cambridge.
Yes.
If you aren't
If you didn't watch the last
20 minutes.
15
It's a
minutes
subtle
of the show.
reference to our president's memoir.
Thanks, Obama.
Well, it's not a memoir. My Father's Dreams.
Dreams of My Father was
The Audacity of Hope.
Yes,
It's a book he wrote.
so
He
is
wrote a
it
freaking
2
book.
books or is it 1 book?
Two
Two
books.
books.
So it's not The Dreams of Our Father, The
That
Audacity
fool
of
was,
Hope.
that fool was ready
It's-
to be president. He's like, I got 2 books. I'm black. Now's the time.
Why does it got to be black?
'Cause he's
Why
black.
can't it just be president? All right, let's cheers this.
Our president's
Please,
black.
let's do so we can talk about the beer.
Cheers to
Yeah,
Obama.
until we get a lesbian president, I'm not going to be happy.
Wow. Dude.
Well, let's get a woman first.
What? The woman can't be lesbian?
I-
Rachel Maddow for president, please.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right. Apparently,
Shut
you know
me up.
our political stance on improvement.
Yeah, we just lost like half of our viewership right there. They're like, I like beer and guns, but I don't like these new Brew Thursday guys. Damn liberals.
Smells. This is a Belgian IPA, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, see, the president's book
look at
overwrote
this.
the entire beer that we're doing. Thanks, Obama.
Hashtag blame it on Obama.
I mean, right off the bat, you get some fruitiness from it. I mean, it's
It's definitely got a really nice floral, or not floral, but like fruity kind of hop aroma to it.
I'm getting strawberries. Like straight
Yeah,
up strawberries.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really, dude?
I know.
Every week.
What's that every week?
let's drink it, see what it's like.
Yeah.
It's clean.
Super clean. It's got a little bit of spice on the back, which I wasn't expecting. Got a nice,
Nice little final bitterness at the end.
Yeah, it's firm. It's not overwhelming. This is really nice. Wow.
Really, really, really well balanced Belgian IPA.
Yeah,
Because that's
definitely.
my biggest worry when I drink a Belgian IPA for the first time is, did they balance the Belgian qualities with the bitter qualities of the IPA?
Yeah, you know-
without it like either fighting with each other or completely ignoring each other, or because sometimes it's like, here's all the sweet Belgian and then boom, bitter hops, or
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I want to be here. No, I'm here.
And this
this is just works really well together.
This is a little over a month old at this point, so it's still somewhat
Still pretty
fresh.
damn fresh. Yeah.
I like it. It's,
Yeah, no, I like what you mentioned when you were talking about that, because Belgian IPA is funny because it's all about trying to marry the right Belgian yeast strain with the right hops, because if you have certain Belgian yeast strains can be almost like like cotton candy, or they can be more like dark like winter fruits and stuff like that, and they're not going to work very well with
Right, yeah.
with certain styles of hops, with certain varieties of hops. But if you have, the right level of fruity esters, a little bit of spice, and then you have the right hops to pair with that, it can be a really great combination. And this is
exemplary.
Yeah, this has like a it kind of hangs out for a while on your palate. Mm-hmm. The Belgian character isn't as dominant, I think, as it. I'm not gonna say as it could be. It could be bigger, but in a bad way. I think this is nice and balanced.
Yeah, there's a certain bubblegum character that you get, which is it's pretty. There are certain strains of Belgian yeast that you get that almost kind of bubblegummy sort of thing, like Chimay. It's like
which is a
really
desired characteristic.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes part of the complexity of the beer,
Right.
and it's interesting because, like I said, if you choose the right varieties of hops, then you can really work that to your advantage.
Play it off of it, yeah.
Exactly.
So and I think it does that really well. I mean, this is a really great beer.
I wonder if Hubba Bubba could do like a Citra version of their gum.
No, just don't go there.
All right.
Hubba
Yeah.
is all bad.
hops.
Oh, it's a horrible, horrible gum. Yeah.
It's a horrible product. It's just all fake stuff.
Apparently, it's non-union. So,
No.
Anyway,
Go in there. You tried Union?
I baited you. That was totally a bait. That was totally baiting.
Throwing.
Yeah, I was like, cast the line out.
I'm going to say overall, Cambridge, we're happy that we're finally seeing you in Southern California.
Absolutely.
Yeah, welcome to the sunny state.
I mean, I don't know how long they've been distributing, but that's awesome. I will gladly buy your beer again.
And you should too. And I'm almost done, so we got to cheers this and peace the fuck out. So
Safe.
stay safe and drink beer.
Cheers.